have 10 seconds, so I'm ending, that we should do the same thing as our fellow New England states, which have learned from what they've done. And we should also be seeking unbiased information on the environmental impacts and health impacts of this proposal. Thank you.
Thank you.
Deborah Daigle.
My name is Deborah Daigle Sullivan. I live at 125 Main Street in Smithfield, and I very much appreciate the opportunity to be heard again tonight. I have some concerns to bring to you. It is my understanding that the Town Council didn't seek input or receive input from the Conservation Commission. And I wondered too about the zoning board, if the zoning board was fully approached for its input about this. Sorry. I would expect that the town council would seek out the expertise of the people and the resources within our community to inform itself further. And I have a concern about the pace that this has been unfolding at. I think that it doesn't look right. It doesn't look good. And I wonder if you're aware of that, if you understand that this looks suspicious to some of us. And I just have a concern about the level of transparency and how folks are being honorable or not honorable in this same question that's been posed about why the rush, why does there need to be such a hurry in this? Why would you not encourage your townspeople to inform themselves, to be deeply educated and understanding something that I agree with Cynthia, it is complex. It is not a quick answer. I mean, it might look that way at first glance, but really there's a lot more to it. So why, why hurry through this? I don't understand why that would be. So if it is not your intention to appear, if it is your intention to appear transparent and to appear honorable, then I expect to see that from you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Michael Tallow.
Excuse me for a second. Ms. O'Hara, you want to say something?
First of all, just the, let me stand because this is, just the idea that anyone on this board has anything but the best, what we think is best for this town is incomprehensible. I can tell you right now, there's been many nights reading, going back and forth, speaking to different people. And is it possible that slowing down, we've had multiple meetings, and as far as limiting, the first two, and you all know, very few people brought forth additional facts. It was more giving us more or less the same feelings that we have about the town, where you live and everything else. It wasn't like data that you research and is coming up. I think that this is a beginning. It's not going to happen overnight. Someone mentions, let's wait. Well, next election is at 6 months, before you get at 7 months. If more facts come out, of course, it's going to be considered. And it can be stopped at any time. And we're listening. People that have called, we're listening. We're asking questions. But to get up and say that, and to hint that there is anything that would not be honorable is an insult. You at home, I know people that worry big time, but I can tell you, there's many a sleepless night. I get up, I get this idea, we're going here, there. We're looking at it. It's my town. My grandkids live here. My father was brought up here. So when people come up, I'm sorry, you're wrong. And I'll state, I won't say my grandkids, yeah, I can't do that. That means, I stake my life on it. I know these people, and no, there's no hidden agenda here. And once again, it's being brought up. And let me tell you, you're wrong. Prove me I'm wrong, I'll be the first one to admit it. But you won't be able to do it.
Thank you.
Michael Powell.
Hello, 39 Beach Street. I'd like to thank you for changing that overlay map. Definitely a step in the right direction.
Could you move your mic up a little?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for changing the overlay map. It's definitely a step in the right direction. I have some new information, just what some of our neighboring towns are doing in similar situations, and there's a few of them. But in Barville, on May 11th, they voted against large-scale commercial solar projects, which would be permitted in farming zones. Town council voted unanimously on Wednesday, May 9th, against proposed amendments to the ordinance governing solar energy systems that approved would allow projects generating more than a megawatt of electricity to be built on farms larger than 5 acres without a special use permit. So there's a special use permit involved with this, and they tossed that out. This is Mike Kelly, who was trying to get a special use permit. Still said no. In our case, we're going to let them do this without special. Well, they're proposing to do it without a special use permit. Town manager Michael Wood said in his recommendation that we did it so we could move into it slowly and deliberately, and not jump into something that we regret later on potentially. And he was recommending against the amendment to the town council proposal as developer, because you can go slowly in this type of change to your zoning. Large-scale commercial systems creating 1 megawatt or more electricity can be built with special use permits exclusively in village, commercial, and general industrial zones. The law offices of Mike Kelly had positioned the town to change the law and allow larger commercial scale installations of 1 to 5 megawatts to be built on farms with more than 5 acres of land with a special use permit. Prior to Wednesday meeting, the planning board had voted to oppose the change. Recommendation also supported by the town's ordinance committee. The town's current ordinance includes height and buffering requirements and dictate that solar panels cannot cover more than 20% of any given lot. So that's Barville. Smithfield, on May 2nd. A new solar ordinance presented by town officials on Tuesday was approved. The council eventually approved the new ordinance presented by town planner Michael Phillips, our old town planner. Principal systems subject to a technical review are broken into 3 types: small scale, medium scale, and large scale solar. Large, 40,000 square feet area or more in residential districts on parcels of 15 acres or more by special use permit. Systems cannot exceed 20% of the parcel on which they are located, and clearing vegetation cannot be greater than 40% of any forested area. Areas underground mounted systems need to be covered with gravel or crushed stones to prevent fire. The council members were hesitant to make a motion to approve the ordinance. They agreed that with the upcoming solar projects coming to the town, it was urgently needed. I think we can always go back and make amendments as necessary, but I'm prepared to move forward on this because it's something we definitely need to protect ourselves.
Thanks, Mike. That was
Sorry,
that's fine.
that's 3 minutes?
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks.
Paul Soares.
Retap. Well, okay. So I thought fast. Good evening, Paul Soares, Salesville Road. I'm pleased to see that you've been listening to some extent and proposed some changes, which I think are good. I think it's a good beginning, but I still feel that this process is flawed. And it's flawed in that we got the tail wagging the dog here. We got a private for-profit entity coming into our town, more or less dictating, you may not agree with that word, but that's the way I see it, of how our ordinances should be written. And we have an ordinance committee made up of knowledgeable, experienced people that wrote the solar ordinance that hasn't even been in effect a year. Maybe you should send it back to them for review with some recommendations or ideas. What really irks me is that you're bypassing the zoning board completely in this. You're taking away their authority. And again, you have these volunteers with a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience, and I think they should be included in the negotiations. I don't think that as good as you people are, whatever background you have, that you have the knowledge and expertise that our zoning board members have. And they shouldn't be locked out of this process. A couple of questions, and obviously you took some of the wind out of my sails by reducing this, and I do appreciate that. But can you tell me of any other town in this state, or anywhere for that matter, that has instituted an overlay district at the request of a for-profit entity? And why would we want to do that? Again, the tail's wagging the dog here. They're bringing something to us where they're going to benefit financially in a large way, and a very few landowners are going to benefit financially. But what about all the rest of the landowners in this town? They're being left out in effect. Of course, there's the environmental issue, which most of you probably don't really care much about, but someone else touched on that. I think it's wrong to approve the overlay district first and then negotiate the financial aspects. I think you need to have more information up front. It's just backwards, in my opinion. I don't see the rush. I know you're all concerned about finances, and this is going to bring money to the town, and that's a good thing. And I know you're going to be losing money for National Grid because of whatever reevaluations happen there. I don't understand all. And I'm sure you don't want to be the town council that raises taxes. But you know what? The amount of money lost from National Grid, I believe, is $500,000 to $600,000. I don't think taxes would go up more than $50 or $60 for a house valued at $250,000. Personally, I'll gladly pay that, as opposed to letting this rush through without proper vetting, in my opinion.
Thanks, Paul. That's all.
Okay. 23 minutes left now?
Yeah, since you're up here, you've been around town, you know the procedures. Can you fill everybody in? What is the procedure? It goes to zoning. The normal procedure would be what? It goes to planning?
It would go to planning, yeah, and the zoning.
And then the zoning, and then if it goes to zoning, when does it come before the council?
When?
Yeah, if it goes to zoning, if it was a normal, typical procedure, planning and zoning, at what point does a project like this, went to zoning, what point in that process would it come before the council?
Do you look for a time?
No, just like, what, in the process?
Oh, you want to know what? I can't say for sure.
Because it wouldn't.
It wouldn't.
It would not. It would go to planning, it would go to planning, it would go to zoning.
Mm-hmm.
And then if the zoning approved it, it was approved. If zoning denied it,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't get appealed to the council. It gets appealed, if they want to appeal, it gets appealed to Superior Court.
Okay.
The council's never in the loop if it went that way.
Well, you made my point. Why should the council be in the loop now?
Because this is a major financial decision that should be made, that should be made by the council.
I think the decision should be made by the zoning board.
I just want to disappoint to argue with you. I just wanted to understand the procedure.
I understand, Mr. Beauregard, but I think at the very least you should include other boards and
David, I'm correct
commissions.
with that, is that the procedure? You go to planning, go to the zoning.
Any application now, the planning board is coming to a special use permit.
And zoning approved it, it gets approved. Right. It doesn't go to denied? Superior Court. I just wanted to make sure we're on the process.
Thank you for the edification. I just believe that you should bring these people, ordinance, conservation, zoning, planning, get them all together and work something out that maybe is more suitable to the majority of the citizens of this town. And that is your primary objective, the health, safety, and welfare of our citizens, all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mark Perry.
Thank you.
Dean Naylor.
Dean Naylor, 700 PHOTOVOLTAIC. I'm here tonight as a member of the zoning board, and I've been to the last 3 council meetings, or correct me?
Planning board.
I'm sorry?
Planning board?
I've been to the last.
No, if you're a member of the zoning board or the planning board?
Did I say zoning?
Yeah.
Well,
If I mean, you did both, then I can understand.
I once was, but I started out in zoning.
All right, I just
I've been a planning board member, I'm sorry. That wasn't part of my 3 minutes. I'm here because I've been to the last 3 council meetings and I've listened to what the people have said in front of the council. And especially the last meeting was somewhat aggravating for me as a planning board member because there were a number of things that were misrepresented. And what I wanted to do was try to set the record straight. First, at the last meeting, Mr. Rapko was up and he misrepresented the planning board meeting, that the first half hour of the planning board meeting was total confusion. This was the meeting at the beginning of May. At this meeting, there were new documents that were presented to the board. Mr. Kravitz had hard copies, and at the beginning of the meeting was going through those documents. One was from the applicant. It was a new document. He had also a bond, sample bond document that was not filled in. We went through each of these documents. Out of that review, there were 2 recommendations, and I made the motions for the recommendations to the council that they look at 2 things that I found in the documents that were of concern. One is the lifetime of the project versus how long the bond would be and how that was going to work. The other was about the tax rate, that state law only goes for, I believe it was the first 20 years, and the lifetime of the project, they were saying would be 25 to 40 in one of the documents they gave us. So I brought those up as concerns, and hopefully those recommendations were brought to the council to be able to take a look at. The other things that we did were review the state law as to what we had to do to be able to make a recommendation to the council. There was a new section of the state law, which I've been on planning board for 10 years now. I was not aware of. It had never been brought up before. Mr. Kravitz had a printout of it, and we reviewed it. I questioned the solicitor extensively about what the process would be and how we would comply with that state law, until we got the process down and what we had to do. It was not confusion. It was making sure we knew what we had to do and how we had to do it to stay legal. Mr. Rapko also brought up about no one reviewed the comprehensive plan. I will speak for myself. I'm highly insulted by that. I have the comprehensive plan. I've had it for 10 years, in hard copy and electronic. I have read it numerous times. I read it that day. I went section by section in the meeting.
I'm sorry.
And to say that we did not do that, I'm sorry, is total misrepresentation. Minutes, he said the minutes were too short. We record, I know, we record every single meeting. We have an audio recording, and that's part of the minutes. There's more misrepresentations of people that have come up and made accusations about the planning board. And I'm sorry,